to Doom?
Everyone!
I wonder who you really are.
Doom, the man who thinks he's smarter than everyone, the guy who has fought Galactus and talked trash to him, the dictator who genuinely believes he deserves to rule the entire multiverse. One name that has embarrassed him more times than he'd like to admit. Hulk, not just the Hulk. Today we're going even bigger. We're talking about the alternate Hulks, the versions of Bruce Banner, and beyond, who didn't just beat Doom. They humiliated him, made him beg, made him run. So grab your popcorn, smash that like button, and let's count down the top 10 alternate Hulks who absolutely destroyed Dr. Doom's ego. Let's get into it.
I can see the buildings shaking when you breathe. I can see the world breaking under your feet.
At number 10, we have to start with one of the most nightmare fuel fusions Marvel has ever made. The Venom Hulk. Bruce Banner bonded with the Venom symbiote itself. Now here's the thing about Venom Hulk. He doesn't just have Hulk's strength, he's got the symbiote's teeth, tendrils, and pure predatory instinct layered right on top. This version doesn't roar and posture like a typical Hulk. He stalks, he hunts, and that alone is enough to make Doom's usual "I have a plan for everything" attitude completely fall apart. Doom shows up expecting a straightforward brawler he can outmaneuver with tech and traps. Instead, he gets something that moves like a predator, hits like a wrecking ball, and doesn't stop coming no matter how many gadgets get thrown at it. There's something uniquely humiliating about a genius like Doom getting hunted instead of fought.
Every heartbeat shakes the ground when Hulk and Venom merge.
Now we talk about number 9, and this one flips the script on everything Doom thinks he knows about Hulk, the Blue Hulk. Instead of the usual heat-driven rage monster, this version's power comes out cold, freezing everything in reach instead of just smashing it. Where Doom is used to defending against raw force, suddenly his armor is icing over, his tech is short-circuiting from frost, and his usual counters just don't apply anymore. Doom prepares for heat, force, and fury. Blue Hulk gives him none of that, just an eerie, calculated cold that spreads faster than Doom can react to it. For a man who always has a contingency plan, facing a Hulk variant that breaks his entire rulebook is its own kind of humbling defeat.
I'm much stronger than them. They want to attack me, so come and try.
At number 8, we're going back to where it all began, the original Grey Hulk, the very first version of Bruce Banner's monster that ever existed. He's slower to anger but colder, more calculating in his menace, a nocturnal, shadow-lurking brute that Doom simply doesn't have a playbook for, since this predates all his research. Doom, a man obsessed with precedent and preparation, suddenly finds himself facing the one Hulk variant with no known weakness and nothing to study.
Now they call me a monster. No, they're the monsters. I'm just the thing they can't control anymore.
We are starting with number 7 now, and this one brings actual Hulk bloodline rage into the mix. Skaar, the son of Hulk. Skaar was raised as a warrior on a brutal alien world, trained to fight for survival since childhood. There's no diplomacy in this version, no clever one-liners, just pure, focused warrior instinct. When Skaar meets someone like Doom, he doesn't see a king, he sees an obstacle. Doom, who is used to enemies who at least respect his title, gets treated by Skaar the same way he'd treat any monster back on his home planet, something to be defeated efficiently and without ceremony. For a man obsessed with being feared and respected, being treated as just another beast to put down is brutal on its own.
Skaar smell trouble. Skaar slash!
Coming in at number 6, we have a version of the Green Goliath that beats Dr. Doom at his absolute own game, the Infernal Hulk. Imagine Bruce Banner, but instead of just being a gamma-irradiated powerhouse, he is actually the sorcerer supreme of his universe. That's right, magic and muscle. Doom prides himself on his mastery of the mystic arts, usually believing his spells make him completely untouchable to brute force. But when he tries to trap this Hulk in a mystical cage, Infernal Hulk doesn't just shatter it with his fists, he counters it with dark, hellish magic that completely overloads Doom's enchanted armor. Doom is forced to his knees, not just beaten physically, but completely outclassed magically by a guy he usually considers a mindless beast. For the arrogant ruler of Latveria, having his absolute best spells casually swatted away by the Hulk is the ultimate soul-crushing humiliation.
It's ancient, evil, and it's coming for all of us.
At number 5, we've got a Hulk who used to be Doom's kind of guy, a military mastermind, a strategist, a man who commanded armies. Red Hulk, formerly General Thaddeus Ross. What makes this humiliating for Doom is the irony. Ross became Red Hulk specifically to have the discipline and the power to take down threats like Hulk himself, and Doom finds himself on the receiving end of both. Red Hulk fights with military tactics, absorbs radiation and energy attacks to grow stronger, and treats Doom's technological arsenal like target practice. Doom, a man who considers himself above soldiers and generals, gets systematically dismantled by a literal general in Hulk form. That's not just a loss, that's Doom getting outranked.
Leave me alone!
Number 4 brings some elegance into the chaos. Jennifer Walters, the She-Hulk. She-Hulk is unique on this list because she doesn't lose her personality, charm, or legal genius confidence when she transforms. She's still witty, still composed, still completely unbothered by Doom's dramatic monologues. And that composure is exactly what gets under Doom's skin. Doom thrives on opponents who panic or grovel. She-Hulk does neither. She often treats him with casual confidence, like he's a difficult client rather than a terrifying warlord. Combine that attitude with Hulk-level strength, and Doom ends up looking less like a feared conqueror and more like a guy who lost an argument he didn't know he was having. At number 3, we're entering serious territory, the version of Hulk fans call the Green Skaar from the World War Hulk era. This isn't comedic Hulk. This is Hulk after being betrayed, exiled, and pushed past every limit, returning to Earth with pure, focused fury and warlord-level combat skill learned from years of gladiator battles. When this Hulk shows up, it's less smash and more conquer. Doom, ever the tactician, tries to use diplomacy and clever traps against this version, and it simply doesn't work. Green Skaar Hulk doesn't negotiate. He doesn't fall for mind games. He walks through Doom's defenses like they're decorative, and that kind of unstoppable, calculated devastation is exactly the kind of humiliation Doom never forgets.
I fear this brute won't be as obliging.
Now at number 2, we've got one of the most chaotic combinations Marvel ever cooked up, Spider-Hulk, a version where Hulk's raw power gets mixed with Spider-Man's speed, agility, and wall-crawling reflexes. This is the Hulk that Doom simply cannot pin down. He's not a slow, predictable wall of muscle anymore. He's bouncing off buildings, dodging attacks with spider-like reflexes, and still hitting like an absolute freight train every time he lands a punch. Doom's carefully aimed blasts and traps are built for something big and straightforward, not something webbing across the battlefield at insane speed. Doom relies on predicting his opponent's movement before they make it. Spider-Hulk removes that advantage completely, darting in from angles Doom never accounted for and leaving him swinging at empty air half the fight. For a tactician who needs control of the battlefield, losing control of pace and space itself is a special kind of humiliation.
I'm trying to hold the world on my shoulders, but my shoulders are becoming too big for this world.
And at number 1, the one that had to take the top spot, Kluh, the giant, world-ending version of Hulk that exists purely to end fights before they even start. Kluh isn't clever or restrained. Kluh is just scale a Hulk so massive that entire cities look small beside him. No tech upgrade or last-second gambit changes the math when something this enormous decides to step on your castle. Doom has outthought gods and armies alike, but against Kluh, thinking doesn't help when the room itself gets crushed. He doesn't lose to a clever trick, he loses because he was standing somewhere Kluh happened to be walking. For a man who insists on being the center of every story, that's the ultimate humiliation.
I don't see a monster. I see a soldier who got betrayed by the people he trusted.
And there you have it, the top 10 alternate Hulks who absolutely wrecked Dr. Doom's ego and reputation. So now it's your turn. Which one of these Hulks do you think deserved the number 1 spot? Was it really Kluh, or should someone else have taken the crown? Let me know your pick down in the comments, and while you're there, smash that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and turn on notifications so you don't miss the next countdown. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.